Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop for this Sunday night. I'm Gav, that's Keith, Emmet, and Seany as always. Liverpool 5, Norwich 2 in the FA Cup fourth round today. Liverpool have been drawn at home to either Southampton or Watford. Southampton got a late equaliser or Vicarage Road today, so Liverpool will be at home in the fifth round against either of those two. Tonight, we're going to talk about the game we just watched earlier on today. We're going to talk about some of the players in it, as we always do, where Liverpool are at the moment in the season, and of course, I'm going to give the lads a chance to talk Jurgen Klopp before we finish out. If you haven't watched the match reaction, Matt and Kev done that straight after the game for an hour or so. It's there. It's available for you on YouTube and to download. So go and do that as well. Keith, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. That's it.
Jesus, okay. Seany, how are you?
Good, yeah. Good.
Yeah, good. Jesus, meant a few words this week. Emma, how are you? You look like you've come down with the mange or something. The way you're set up there. What's going on?
Do I look that bad?
Yeah. The
No,
hat looks like.
yeah, like I said, I had I had two low fat meals and fell asleep on the couch, so I didn't have time to fix my hair. So
Right.
just said I put on a hat.
Okay. Good stuff. Good
Someone's
stuff.
gonna have to do an intervention for him. He's
Yeah.
You could have just said you had something to eat instead of telling us you
Yeah.
had two low fat meals, you bleeding sausage.
Yeah.
I just thought it might be a nice segue
Lay-
into talking about
Lay
tomorrow
contender
being
for
our
sausage of the
fourth
week is Emmet.
weigh in.
Sausage of the week
Low-fat
has
sausage of
changed
the
now.
week.
Sausage of the week has changed. It's Emmet now.
It's
Late-
actually
late
called
week.
low fat sausage of the week now.
We actually had
Talking
a, do you
sausage
know
of
what?
the week.
Vegetarian
Yeah.
sausage of the week.
We had a new entrant into our group yesterday, and one of the first things he said when he came in is, "Goes, I'm 16 stone 4," and we were like, nearly get the fuck out bragging. Jesus, I won't say who it was.
Yeah, I won't say
Fucking
who it was.
hell, huh? And I tell you, if we fall off the wagon, we're just gonna eat that person.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that film Alive. Right, deadly. Why do we always go up these tangents? Anyway, Liverpool 5, Norwich 2 in the fourth round of the FA Cup today. A good win for Liverpool, a good run out for them. Players coming back, but we get on to that later. Keith,
Yeah.
I was nothing but confident going into this. It's a championship side. I think they're about 9th or 10th in the championship. We are coming in. Everything that's gone on since Friday, I thought, look, the crowd will be up for it, the team will be up for it. I seen the under 23s team going around that I think they played earlier today, and I was like, right, there's nobody missing out of that, so we're going fairly strong. Look, it's just a run of the mill FA Cup game that we just, we batter aside and we're on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, you look at I was confident as well, right? Without the sideshow that's been going on over the last few days, I was confident that any championship team at Anfield, like all we ask in every cup draw is a home draw against a lower league team. So give me that all day long. The squad, I was surprised at McConnell's inclusion, just that I thought others may have been ahead of him in the pecking order. But other than that, I like this year in the cups. Klopp hasn't been just throwing too many of the youngsters in. He's been mixing it up with good experience and young lads, and I thought that was a lovely balanced team because even though there was a few experienced lads in there, you still have Kwanzaa, you still have Bradley, who are looking first team players. Do you know what I mean? To me, and you're excited now to see who the next one is off the line. Now, I like the look of Bobby Clark. I think he has a little bit of bouncing, and I was actually hoping to see him getting a few minutes. But I thought McConnell was excellent today, and it's another one that you come away from the game with and you're like, yeah, lovely. Like again, sideshow aside on what's sort of happening and the future of what's going to happen at Liverpool, we couldn't be in a better place, structurally. The setup of the club, the youth setup that we have in place, the players coming through that all come in and look ready to go. And it's been a long time coming, this setup. And we've seen the likes of, and no disrespect to Billy Cometio and Reece Williams and the Nat Phillips and the likes, but this crop of players that are coming in, you're excited to see them because they're coming in and they just look hitting the ground running. They're ready to play with this team. And maybe it is because there's not 8 of them getting thrown in at one time, but you're really seeing a group there that's so apart from that, everything, like everything is exciting, everything is good. I was looking forward to the game. And yeah, good run out, good game of ball.
Seany, you know, there is cup games in the past against championship sides and others where you be going, oh, he's thrown 4 or 5 in here. But I don't know if the option is there to do that at the moment. And but what I mean by that is that we've too many good players. Do you know what I mean? We have, like, it's not like, oh, we've 11 or 12 and then you can just make up a load after that. You're literally now looking at the 11 that are on that pitch today, the 5 that come on. There's a couple still to come back, either through injury or international football. We're just in a really good spot, Shawnee, where we can make changes. We can throw a couple of young fellas in, but like, you're looking going, like, Trent doesn't start, Virgil doesn't start, Salah doesn't start, Endo doesn't start, Szoboszlai doesn't start, and the names just keep going and going and going. And you still look at the side we have out, Shawnee, and it's so strong. And I seen a stat the other day that Liverpool have used more players than anyone else, and you know, they've spread out the minutes more than anyone else, and it just, today is another example, isn't it, that we're mixing this nearly bang on every week, and we have not an embarrassment of riches, but we're really strong in a lot of areas.
Yeah, I think that's probably been one of the key assets of why we are where we are and looking so strong in each composition this year. And the house Klopp has managed and rotated the squad. And it helps then as well when you have lads like Kwanzaa, Connor Bradley coming in, and then McConnell today, and then just not looking like young players, not playing like young players, not looking like passengers in, not looking like they're just being shoehorned in to sort of say, oh, look, well, he's had to get minutes with the first team. They're coming in and they're contributing and they don't look out of place. And that's the thing. If you had a stuck a McAllister jersey on McConnell today and let him run around, you wouldn't notice too much of a difference, because that's the benefit of the system that we have, and it's bearing fruit now with the...
And Klopp said he's an 8, by the way, and you just put him in the 6 today. You just said, look,
and
I've room in the 6, there you go.
Look, all players can play football, Gav. It's simple as that. And that's exactly what he's done. And going in there against the championship side at home at Anfield, yeah, he should be good enough, but there's a dirt now of talent that we're able to use in games. Like, we've recalled Owen Beck, and he's not going to play now because Robbo's back, and he probably would have been getting games if Robbo's injury been any longer. Or Joe Gomez is flying now and playing in that position. So, look, and again, this is like, I remember last year when we fucking ended up out of Champions League and we ended up in the Europa League. I always thought to myself, well, that's part and part. I actually think the Europa League is going to be great for some of these lads to get minutes under their belt, and it's really shown now. It's really shown now with some of them. Like, again, I think we spoke about it last week on the show before. If Bradley starts against Chelsea on Wednesday or wherever it is, I'm all right with that. Genuinely, I am. I'm not worried about it, because Klopp has done a really good job at integrating youngsters where they don't look like 18, 19-year-old lads playing senior football for the first time. And you can't understate how big that is. And it's just showing a clear path from lads who are now slugging it out in the 18s and 19s that, look, if I keep ripping her up here, I might end up on a pre-season tour with these lads and give myself a chance. You know, so no complaints on my end about performance or result. You can get these games where you play shite and you just dig it out. But now the result was good, and it was an enjoyable watch. Like, barring the procession that's going on at the minute, it's a bit fucking. I'm already fucking wit's end with the eulogies and all. I think it's stupid. Like, the fella just doesn't want to manage a football team anymore. He's not dead. Just let him go on with the business. And I can imagine that'll annoy Klopp more than that, massively. He even seemed fairly resilient. It was a bit awkward to me, the whole lot of it. And again, you see, it seems like some pundits and all that kind of reveling in it a little bit. I don't know whether that's paranoia or what, but yeah, look, it's gonna be like that. But today I just had to be business as usual, and it pretty much was. It was a very Liverpool of this season performance where they get one to make a 1-1, and then they get one when we're 4-1 up, and then there's no real panic at any stage in the game. It's just kind of like, right, we'll just kind of go about our business, and it's a professional job. It's a very fucking professional job.
Emmet, Jono says there the senior players don't treat these kids like their kids. They treat them like their first teamers. And Liverpool done everything on their terms today. They've done everything on their terms. They picked the team on their terms. They control the game. Yeah, they get an equaliser, but Liverpool control the game. We go 2-1 up. We bring on a couple of lads that they want to just get minutes into, like Virgil. They bring in Szoboszlai and Trent, who are come back from injury. They bring them in. They got another goal. They bring on Diaz. They're just, everything is on Liverpool's terms. It's not like, if you've seen the subs that come on today, you'd be forgiven for thinking, fuck, Liverpool might have been 1-0 for a long time here, or 2-1 down and then we brought this. But it wasn't that at all, Emma. We're literally making those changes because we want to, not because we need to.
That's the exact point I was going to make. In previous seasons, we've had to bring those.
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry for making the point before you.
No, you're fine. Yeah, we've had to bring them on to go and win a game. But today we brought them on to get them legs, or get them minutes in their legs for the games that are coming up. I would imagine that if we didn't have a Chelsea and an Arsenal coming up, that you may not have seen some of them today. So it is, I'd say, to prime them for what's coming ahead. The point I'd like to make is these lads, so the likes of McConnell, Clark has been mentioned, Bradley, whatever. These lads will have, whilst not playing directly under Klopp, they're playing in the same system. They know what's expected of them. And then you look at Gravenberch, right? And people are kind of ganging up on Gravenberch. Gravenberch has played in that system for a lot less than what those young fellas have as well. And he is only a young fella himself. So it's going to take time for him. I thought in parts today he played well, but there was still, I don't want to call it a naivety about him. You can see that he's still not fully adapted to it. But these lads, it's been drilled into them. He's going to be as good, if not better than those lads when he comes up to speed in the system and how we play. It's great to see the lads back. It's like, imagine being a Norwich player today and looking to the bench when we're bringing on subs, and it's like, well, it's only Trent, it's only Szoboszlai, Robbo. It's great to have so many people back. In previous seasons, we've had to play a lot of youngsters because we didn't have a Keita, we didn't have an Ox, we had injuries, that kind of stuff. We're just in a really good place. I think it's the strongest squad and the deepest squad that we've probably had in the whole of Klopp's tenure. And
it is real out of a doubt.
And the unfortunate thing is, and it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's really good that I think that this is the best place the club has probably been in since Dalglish, easily. And I'm not even talking when he walked away. I'm talking about like late 80s into 1990. Since we last won the league, this is the best feeling around the club since then. And I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later on, that whoever does decide to come in is like it's gift wrapped for them. It's all set up, and I think that was his whole idea of going again this season. So yeah, it's the best feeling I've had. I was too young to understand really back in the 80s when they were winning things. I've lived it. I've gone out drinking. I've had sessions. We've had trips away and all that kind of stuff. This is the best feeling I've had as a Liverpool fan.
Sounds like a bit of Stockholm syndrome there.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying. I do know what you're alluding to, but.
Can we talk about some players? Keith, Bradley, we'll start with him because, he's been excellent since he came in. I think he comes in, way at Bournemouth he's in, but there's a game before that, isn't there? What's the game he plays?
Comes on against Arsenal.
Yeah,
doesn't he? Comes on
and then he plays the two Fulham and then Bournemouth as well in between. And, I think he's made one mistake in all them games, and that's letting Harry Wilson inside him for the equaliser. Do you know what I mean? And that's late in the game. He looked a bit leggy for me late on in the game, and that's fair. He's a young fella. But today, Keith, right, and I know we hate going, way over the top and stuff like that, but I watched him today and went, you just saved yourself a transfer here.
Yeah.
You've actually just saved yourself a transfer. If you want to go and do Trent in midfield, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, but if you do want to, that fella can play right back for Liverpool, in my opinion. And I know it's early doors, I know it's a small sample size, but it's not like he's playing a game and you go, oh, there's good bits to him, and I'm not sure. He just looks like a Liverpool right back. And going back to what Emmet said, it gets drilled in, and they know when they come in what they have to do. But today, Keith, defensively, absolutely fine. Probably against their most dangerous player down the left-hand side. And offensively, he just gets better and better. And you can see the confidence growing him. Because that goal for Nunez, like he makes the whole thing, he's immense for it.
I know you said he looks like a Liverpool right back, but to me, he just looks like a Liverpool left back. And the smell of Andy Robertson, young Andy Robertson, off him when he came in, the parallels are just. And I'm being flippant, but I know what you mean. But the parallels with Robertson's style of play, if you remember them first couple of years, now look, Robertson still, I think he's still quality, like, but them marauding runs, the powerful runs, winning the ball, snapping into the tackle. The Darwin Nunez goal showed it. He wins that ball and he just drives at them and pushes at them. I thought he was brilliant. I think I do agree. I think one thing, we'll go on to the Jurgen Klopp eulogising later on, but he said it in his first sort of press conference was, he'd love a team of local born players and not have to sign players, all that sort of stuff. And we're seeing a situation now where whoever takes on this role, if they play their cards right, they don't have to do much work to the squad, because we have a player in Conor Bradley who, if you use him, and I think we have to use him, I think the mistake you can make with these kids is you just never played them.
You just think they're really good, but you never actually do it with them.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to be willing to rest, even if it's a half an hour at the end of the match. You know what I mean? Just give them minutes and keep them involved and keep them open, because he's going to save you a fortune. Now, Jarell Quansah, another one, just looks made for Liverpool. These players that come in there they're not going to be our first choice at the moment. They're going to be squad options. Curtis Jones, in the last year, Curtis Jones has made himself one of the most important players in the team. And that's what you want to see from these guys. So you look at Bradley, and I'll put my hand up. I didn't think Bradley would make it at Liverpool. The early stuff I'd seen of him in the youth teams and all that, and I was like, I don't know. And absolutely wrong, because you go out on loan, and this is the thing of the loan system. I don't know why we send players to high caliber teams on loan, i.e. Carvalho going to Leipzig and not getting any minutes, where you send them to the confidence that Bradley gets from a year at Bolton. He's their player of the year, their fans' player of the year, and comes back flying.
He wins all three at Bolton.
Yeah.
Ant says it there. He won Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, and Players Player of the Year at Bolton. And Dylan O'Rourke says he saw a video of a Bolton fan talking about him, and they said he should have never been loaned there, because it was crystal clear from very early on he was ready to play at a much, much higher level.
Yeah, but that confidence that you get from playing, and tough leagues down there, I know the quality isn't great in the lower leagues, but they're tough. Do you know what I mean? You're getting the shy kicked out of you. So you do have to get that sort of that physicality into you. And I think you can see it in him, because he flies into tackles, he uses his body well. I just think he's definitely an option to have going forward, and you can't ask for more than that. As you say, you save yourself a fortune, maybe not on a first choice player, and no disrespect here, but you don't have to sign a Simicast. You don't have to waste your money on a Simicast type of player for say 12, 13, 14 million to be your backup, where you have one there that you can put the trust in. So little things like that can really, really help you out with a squad.
Yeah, and like, we seem to talk about Jarell Quansah every week, but like, again, he just plays there today and I don't even notice him. And we've all said that. When Jarell Quansah plays Liverpool, you don't notice him. He just plays his game. And what I liked about him today actually was he's fizzing the ball around a lot more than he usually would. He's actually fizzing balls at people now, where it was a bit kind of, I'll give it to this fella, I'll give it to that fella. Might hit the odd raking one, but he's absolutely just like, do you know what I love to see in a centre half? Do you know when they're playing, right? And he decides he's missing out that midfielder that usually come and get it off him, and he's putting a boy down to the fullback. He's just bang, bang, or he's putting it to the winger. Like, I thought Quansah was excellent at that today. Bradley, to me, just up and down, wins his battles, and then when he gets forward, you can see more and more of him. Starting to become comfortable in those positions.
Yeah. And how many times have you seen him making them little runs? The little
he's the furthest man forward.
The box, and they play the little triangles, and he's not on his heels. Yeah, to give it's amazing. Like he's up to speed on that. They're popping it in and he's going and
But the give and
defending.
go for the Nunez one, he wins it, plays it, gets it inside, and then he actually looks, because you'll see if you watch it back, you see the Norwich player thinking he's playing this inside again.
Yeah, and
he just drops the shoulder and gone, and times the
second assist is out of this world.
The one
at the end.
It's impossible to defend and easy to attack. It's ridiculous the level of technique to be playing. No, he hits into the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there's so much pace on it that
you can't do anything.
Yeah,
you can't. And if you're an attacker, you only have to touch it and it's going in the net.
Yeah, if you're a defender, you're afraid to bleed and touch it because it's going into the net.
He's been so impressive. And a thing for me with young players is, what do you do when it's not going well for you? Do you go hiding or do you get torn a new one? And Willian, who's been one of the craftiest wingers to play in the Premier League for time,
still is
an excellent footballer. Exactly, an excellent footballer, has been an excellent footballer. Was having his way with him at times in both of the games, and he never went down him. He was always in it, but he was tenacious. Even you could see when he comes on against Arsenal, he locks Martinelli up. You know, like, he's a huge talent, and I fully agree with you. It's gonna save Liverpool a lot of money, as will Kwanzaa, and that's what your academy is for. You know what I mean? That's exactly what your academy. And he seems like a good lad as well, and he has a bit of snide about him. It's green shoots all around. I'm fucking delighted he's found his way into the team, and this is where little injuries can kind of benefit you, because you're unearthing these gems. Like, Robertson goes out with a shoulder injury, Simicast not too far after, and now Gomez has had to find himself in a position where you're kind of going again. Now, I love Robert to death, but if Gomez starts on left back on Chelsea next week, nobody can have any qualms, because he's been fucking brilliant since he's come in. He's hardly put a foot wrong. The only thing he hasn't done is score, which is a narrative I can fully like. I'm really enjoying that whole Joe Gomez.
You're getting on board with that one, eh?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, but look, again, it's just we're in such a good position in terms of, and we were always thinking about, we're going to need someone like Walker Peters, we're going to need an English right back to win there. We don't anymore, because Conor Bradley's there and he's going to play. And look, we thought to go out to fucking that Calvin Ramsey lad, because it could have easily been him, but unfortunately he's just got the shit end of the stick, where his body's fucking just hasn't worked out for him. And look, he might still come around and win, and might be competition, but it doesn't look good for him. And that's the only way you could say it. Like, you know what I mean? So
ground, is he? Is he getting ground pains and still?
Oh, he had done his ACL, didn't he? And then come back. He just look.
He's come back, I think, from Preston on loan. He's come back from there, and I'd say it's probably a case of trying to get him right for next season. And might be another loan. But we'll see how it is.
With Keith as well, when he talks about sending these lads off the top tier teams around Europe, it's not always productive. Like, Bonzo got the Bristol Rovers last year, and again, I really like Levi Caldwell, but I wouldn't swap him for Kwanzaa, and I'm being deadly serious when I say that.
Well, no, you wouldn't, because it mean you're having to spend 60 million quid on what you believe is probably Jarell Kwanzaa. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's not. People think you're being a bit flippant when you say that, but if you look, there's a big enough sample size between Levi Caldwell this season and Jarell Kwanzaa this season. All right, and out of both of them, I think they're both fantastic defenders. Really, really good talents. Actually, you could probably look at them in the future and go, they'll probably partner each other at England for years to come.
We partner each other at Liverpool, you never fucking know.
Yeah, you never know, but like, I don't. You could tell me Levi Caldwell's better than Jarell Kwanzaa, and I go, okay, but he's not £60 million better than Jarell Kwanzaa, and that's the difference there. And it's an interesting thing, because I want to come to it later when we talk about where Liverpool are and the future and stuff like that. But Emma,
on that point, before you move off, though, I know you want to move on, but there's still place if Liverpool want to buy a Levi Caldwell. They're in a situation now where they can do it, because there's not a huge rebuild needed. So even Kwanzaa coming in there means Caldwell can come in as a centre back. He's not 2-3 centre backs. You know what I mean? Matip goes out, one comes in.
We need 3 centre backs next year. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you never know.
Especially if Mourinho gets the job. Emma, we talked a little bit. You know, we've seen we've talked about all the players, and we'll go through a couple of the goals. A couple of them are really good, but just on McConnell, because people did think that Bobby Clark might play, and I was listening to I was listening to the Anfield Raps reaction to it. Neil Atkinson was saying that the manager probably feels he owes McConnell a start because he's been on a shitload of benches and hasn't seen an awful lot of football, bar a couple of 5 minutes here and there at the end of the Europa League games. And Bobby Clark has. He's kind of got on. He gets on the League Cup semi-final and stuff like that. But the more interesting thing was Klopp going, yeah, McConnell's really good, played a great game, kind of, really an 8, but, we just put him in the 6. And that again, Emmet, goes back to what they have around him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he might have struggled in that 6 today if he had Bobby Clark and someone else beside him. But it's not. No matter who we're bringing on, it's like, you're grand there. And it's like someone said earlier, they're treated like first-team players, so go in and play. You know, the sort of way. But I thought the young lad was brilliant again today. He snapped into tackles. Yeah, there's a couple of off ones, which there was from a couple of players, but overall, he's a great assist. It's a brilliant assist for the first goal of his left foot when he looks predominantly right footed. Just a really good, what would be possibly his full debut for Liverpool. I thought he was excellent.
He was unbelievable. Wanted the ball all the time. You love to see that. Some lads can come on and kind of not really want it, but he was shown for the ball all of the time, giving and going. Like you said, throwing himself into tackles. It's not a bad thing. I think the second one is a bit kind of, he needs to be mindful of that one, but the first one was excellent. You're saying he has a lot, like, it's the players that he has around him. Even today, though, we've already spoken about, like, you've got Joe Gomez who's playing left back, who doesn't normally play there. You've got Kwanzaa, who's only newish to the team, and you've got Bradley. And even Kanate is still only a young fella. So it wasn't even like he was playing with Trent, Kanate, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Do you know what I mean? There was inexperience around him as well. And I thought he handled it brilliantly. And I think it was probably cramp in the end because he covered nearly every blade of grass. He looks about 11. Like, he's really young looking. I thought he was exceptional. And you're right, the ball in, unbelievable. I don't think you'll probably see him again this season, but what a debut, like.
Yeah. And I love the fact that Curtis Jones jumps on his back to celebrate him. You know, as if to go fucking fair play to you, the sort of way. Because I always look for the reactions of the established players towards the young lads when a goal is scored and it's kind of, you see some teams to kind of give the young fella a pat, yeah, fair play, and my mates are over here want to celebrate with them. But it's not like that. Like, Nunez runs to bleeding Bradley's it's go brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
You have to remember as well as Jones used to be that chap. Jones used to be the lad that only came in every now and again. So he knows, he's been there. And look, they all have, but I don't know, where's McConnell from? Is he from Liverpool?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you where he's from. I'm not going to lie.
They've not all come through the academy. Jones has. He knows what it means for the player. So yeah, it's great to have someone that close as well as all the other experienced players as well. But I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
Let's talk a couple of goals before we move on, Keith. Let's talk to Darwin Nunez. It's a great ball by McConnell. It's a really good header by Jones, but he kind of has that thing where Jones hangs around the left hand side and has finished quite a couple of goals now since the back end of last season, I think. We're coming in off that left hand side, but the Darwin Nunez one, I've been banging on for ages about him getting like a poacher's goal, and he gets one at Bournemouth near the end, but this one was really satisfying for me as well because it wasn't a first time finish in the box. And it wasn't a tap in, and it wasn't a court. He hits the post a few minutes earlier. But this one is where he's put in, gets a touch, time to face up the keeper, and puts it in the bottom corner, Keith. And the range of goals he's getting, and I know it's Norwich, but the range of goals he's getting is starting to widen for me. And I love that. I much prefer that goal over, say, a header or a tap in or one of those that Corlin want to go in. That one there is a real kind of, our number 9's put through on goal, he takes a touch and he puts it away. Really good finish from him.
Yeah, look, I'm a huge Darwin Nunez fan. I've said it from the very start. I understand people getting frustrated, but we're starting to see him taking the chances and not. And look, it's only the last couple of games, so I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself, but he doesn't look to be snatching as much as he was. He looks to be composed. And look, I want to say something about Liverpool's attack that might get a few volleys for it. Like, if Mo Salah was sold yesterday or in January, the start of the thing, and this isn't about Mo Salah, by the way, it's about the others. I still think we'd have the best attack in the league with the lads who are there, because they're all starting to come to the fore now. Gakpo's not prolific, but his play is excellent. Nunez, if he continues in this vein of form, I said it last week, I think Nunez is one of the highest ceilings in world football. He's not there yet, but the ceiling is just fucking absolutely there. Jota is just a fucking a killer in front of goal, and then Diaz is a bag of tricks. You know, we've got these players that are all starting to, after sticky starts, after bad periods in the likes of Diaz's case, he's had a tough time. But Nunez is starting to look like a striker who's building that confidence. He's taking his chances earlier. He's more conviction in his chances. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Do you know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see how he develops. Because I thought it was a great goal today. Again, Bradley done all the heavy lifting and puts it in. But you're right, Nunez takes a touch, bang, into the corner. They're the ones you want to see him scoring. And I was delighted with that. I think he has all the potential in the world, Nunez. And I think, if we can, again, harken back to it, we don't know who's going to be the manager going forward. But if they can sort of build on what's there, they have an absolute superstar in the making, and we're starting to see him looking much more convincing and with much more conviction.
He walks his rocks off, in fairness to him.
Yeah.
And his link off play. And his link up play is getting better and better. And you mentioned Gakpo there, and Gakpo links it all together as well and drifts a little bit and stuff like that. But Seany, Diogo Jota gets one today. And as soon as the defender misjudges that, I'm like, he is burying this. He's not even thinking about it, he's just burying it, because that's what he does. But he was outstanding today for me. His movement to go over at times and kind of give Bradley options on the ball was he was there all the time. He seemed to be sneaking around the back as much as he could, dropping off. He did an excellent game today, Diogo Jota. He skies a couple into the Kop, but they're acting the bollocks in the last 10 minutes, let's be fair. But it's all round game, Seany, and I've heard so many say it, and it's hard to disagree. We're banging on about players coming back. We're banging on about this player and that player, but he is pivotal. Because if he either starting, he's a nightmare, or coming on, he's just so intelligent.
Yeah,
he was brilliant today, Seany.
Yeah, he's look, the only sort of, up until recently, the only criticism you'd have with Jota, what I would anyway, people might tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking down my hole, but is that if he's not giving you goals, he doesn't give you much else. And that has sort of been the kind of story of his Liverpool. And it's not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, he's in the team to score goals. But we're seeing a lot more of it from him in recent weeks since he's come back from injury. Again, his movement terrorising. Again, early in the season as well, away at Newcastle, he doesn't get a goal or an assist, but he's fucking brilliant when he plays there.
When we have 10,
yeah,
he's unreal. He's unreal incredible when he comes on. Yeah,
he's incredible. Yeah, and he's done that in a few games this year where he's had massive effect on games without contributing with a goal and assist, and that's huge from him. I with you. If Jota stays fit, we're in a shout with all the pots, he's going to be pivotal. He's like any basketball aficionados in the chat, he's like a Ray Allen sort of player where, look, if it's not going well for the main two fellas, if you give it to this fella, he's going to do something with that, and he's a closer, and he's clutch, and
he feels like he has a really massive goal in him at some stage in some competition.
He's game-winning moments in him.
Yes.
He always had. I think he's been fucking brilliant since. The only thing you could level at him since he's come into Liverpool is his durability a little bit. He's missed a lot of football, and look, that can happen. That's just the way it is. But when Jota has been fit in large patches, he's scoring goals. I don't think that can be disputed. This is probably the longest run he's had in the team now for a while. I don't touch wood. If Jota stays healthy, we're golden. He's a brilliant footballer. I love watching him play. He's a killer. He's an absolute killer.
Something about that is, and I say it, we've said it all the time, about how Nunez, even if he's not scoring, he's occupying the centre-backs. Jota's the exact same, but in a different kind of way, because he's not going to be, and he does mix it with them, he does be sort of throwing them all over the place, but when you know he's there, you can't leave him alone. Do you know what I mean? You can't let him float.
If Nunez finished like Jota, he'd honestly be worth 180 million.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Because it's a red raw fucking racehorse flying machine that finishes everything that comes his way. And look, it might come to going back to Nunez as well. We're seeing a bit more variation in his finishing, which is fucking exactly what needed. I don't want him just fucking slashing at everything and thundering everything in. But like Keith said, when the ball rolls in behind and there's nothing but goal and grass between them, you know where it's going.
Yeah.
Like, keepers never even seem to save his shots.
Yeah.
He always
he doesn't even give the keeper a chance to set today.
No.
He just drops and he's just I'm smashing this in today.
He's class, and he's been fucking brilliant since the day he walked into Liverpool. And look, I put my hand up. I was one of the people in the summer that was saying if a bid came in, you'd let him go. And I have to be honest, I'm completely wrong on that.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up there. I think I agreed with you.
I was wrong on that.
I told you you're all fucking idiots, and I was
wrong. No, and you were right.
Yeah, look, when we're wrong, we say we're wrong. That's what we do.
Of course we do.
We won't go on that hill.
It's just great to see, because we were worried about Salah going away, and let's be honest, we talk about killers and we talk about big games, big moments. Salah is and has been for so long for Liverpool, and just to see these lads, I'm delighted with it, because they've literally just took it and went, Salah's away, is he? Grant, right? There's four of us. Is that grand? Let's just share this around and let's all start banging in goals always. Like Diaz gets one away at Fulham, he gets one away at Arsenal. You know, you see Nunez getting goals, Jota's getting goals, Gakpo gets a really good big one in the Fulham game, the first leg. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, we just keep doing this, and then the lads backing it up and coming back in the team. It's
someone said a classic King Kenny goal. I've never seen Dalglish play, obviously, but I've seen all the compilations, and it's mad. King Kenny just looks like he's lashing volleys in the box all the time. I don't know whatever way football worked out back then, but that's exactly what it was. Just putting his fucking foot through and now keeper getting near it.
Yeah, just not giving them a chance to set. Just that's dropping, I'm hitting it. You're not getting a chance to plant your feet or push yourself anywhere, and the keeper just had no time to react.
He's really, really, really good footballer.
And you know what? Just keep them fit, because I don't care if there's 5 or 6 of them and you're only playing 3. That doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm telling you, we turned up to Arsenal next week and you told them, listen, Salah's back, Nunez is playing and Diaz is playing, but by the way, Gakpo and Jota will be on 65. Arsenal are going to bleed and bag themselves. I'm telling you, no doubt about it. They're absolutely going to shite themselves. And I've seen Arsenal fans already going, fucking great. Jota's just running into that lovely bit of form now before he turns up at the Emirates again. And it is in their head, and they'll probably come out and try to put a game to bed against us because they know this fucker's coming on.
Yeah, there's another game talking about when he comes on against Arsenal in the FA Cup.
You don't know what's going on.
He absolutely bullies Saliba. You can see Saliba going, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then Gabriel has a go up, and then he's getting ragged on. The two of them are like, well, you can fucking deal with him.
Yeah, they're just trying to pass him off.
Yeah,
but Emmet, there's 2 more goals in the game, and 2 of them I'm delighted over. Szoboszlai with a great corner, right on the penalty spot, and Virgil just no doubt just plants it, and he needs to get more goals. He should get more goals, because he ends up, for the biggest fella there, right, you know, height-wise you think he should, but he's marked out, you know, they're all over him. Finds a bit of space, and he has missed a couple of chances this season where you go, Virgil, you should probably at least get that on target. And I was delighted over that, and I was delighted over the last one for Gravenberch, because I thought he put an awful lot into this game today, and the fact that he left him on for the whole game was telling for me. They're trying to get him into that rhythm, because he obviously has talent. He breezes by people as if they're not there, but it's just more ways for Liverpool to score against you, and more different players scoring, and we're getting them from everywhere. Emmet. We're getting them from centre back, we're getting them from full backs, we're getting them midfield, wide, up front. They're coming from everywhere, and you know, Liverpool, as good as they were, you probably say in certain seasons, yeah, but we know we stopped this fella, and this fella, they've nothing else. It's starting to become really difficult to stop Liverpool, because you don't know where it's coming from.
One of those seasons was last season.
Yeah.
I don't need to how many goals did we get from midfield last
Probably,
season?
if we got 5, I'd
Very
be
few.
amazed.
Yeah. And I think we saw something different with the corner today. So, like, we're always talking about Nunez's contribution. Nunez blocks off 2 players to give Van Dijk that space to hit the header. But Szoboszlai's delivery, like, it's unbelievable. I don't want to say Trent shouldn't be anywhere near any more corners, but he should be hanging around the edge of the box trying to get knockdowns and scoring goals. Szoboszlai has some sort of a heat seeker in his fucking boots or something like that, because it literally lasered right to his head.
Yeah, he
And you could
doesn't
see
put as
Van
much.
Dijk giving him the eyes.
He doesn't
It's
put as much
just,
bend on it. That's what it
no,
is. He
it's,
doesn't bend
yeah,
it. He hits them flat and
flat.
no, I'm not
does.
saying he's hitting it with.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
he's
a good
guiding
show.
it.
Madison's very similar.
He's hitting it with his laces, but they're coming off flat. So all you have to do is get on them. You're not having to work out the pitch of the ball at all, Emma.
But we remember a few weeks ago we were giving out, well, not giving out, but just like we were worried that the forwards weren't scoring, but we were still getting goals from midfield, and look where we are now. We're in every competition, top of the league. So, but now they've hit form, and I think Pep said during the week before the Fulham game, they're obviously aiming for a time where when we had Mane, Firmino, Salah, it was always like if Salah had a drop off, Mane picked up the slack with the goals. If Mane dropped off, Firmino picked up, and they all chipped in. And that's what you're kind of seeing now as well. Salah's like, there's days, seasons gone by where Salah going to AFCON was kind of like the end of the world. Like you said, like who's going to score the goals? Like it doesn't seem to be an issue at the moment. Again, touch wood, long may it continue. But yeah, it's really exciting. There's goals from all over the park. Gomez is getting a goal this season. I don't care what anybody
He
says.
hit one in the first half, and I was convinced it was in.
Oh, so I thought it was in as well. But he's definitely getting one. He spoke about it in that interview. I've not watched it all, but he spoke about the whole goal. The actual ad for the Predators when it's Joe Gomez,
Yeah.
like it's coming. 100% it's coming. And it'd be great for him to get it, obviously, before the other lad departs. But I think I'm on board with Chris Brack. I think it's going to be a big one when it does come. It's going to be it's a match winner
Listen,
or a cup winner or
give it to me in the 94th of 95 minutes. Wolves at home last day of the season to win the
Yeah.
league, and I swear to Jesus Christ, I'll never ask for anything again, Lord. I mean, but look, we've touched on some players, we've touched on some goals. Liverpool are through, but I want to talk about where we are, right? Because I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to the media, and I think the media are still trying to play us down a little bit, which is fair enough. It's 4 competitions I get, but it's very difficult to win one, never mind 4 of them. But Keith, like, I'm always optimistic, right? And I'm not telling you, I'm not gonna come out here and factually tell you Liverpool are definitely winning 1 trophy or 2 or 3 or 4, but I believe we could win them all, because I always believe every game Liverpool can win or are going to win. You know me, I'll very rarely even predict the draw. But when I look at it, like, I said it earlier, we're playing all these games on our terms. Like, genuinely, like today, right? Norwich equalise, and the reason Norwich equalise is because, for me, Curtis Jones has a 3-on-1 situation on the right hand side of the pitch and decides to hold on to the ball and doesn't pass it. Now they break down, they get a corner and they score. But it seems to me like unless Liverpool hand you something, right, you're getting fuck all. You're not playing through us. You're not working us. You're not. It's basically if Liverpool make a mistake and it's usually a kind of drop off in concentration for a second, you might get something off us. And with all these players coming back, Keith, like Salah's going to bounce back in here going, fucking fair play, lads. Do you know what I mean? Right, here we fucking go. Endo's going to be the same. And you can see the boys coming on today buzzing. I can't see Liverpool losing many games between now and the end of the season, Keith. If we get these players back and that little bit of luck, where are you on it? Do you think, look, take 1, 2 will be a bonus, but
Take them all. Fuck it.
I think we should go for them all.
I think the way Liverpool are, I don't think Klopp is the type of manager that throws them away when you get to a certain stage. So he'll throw away a 3rd round FA Cup game if he has like, this is a load of bollocks, I'm not going to do that. But what round do we go into now? The 5th round, is it?
Yeah.
What's left after that is the quarters.
Quarter semis.
I mean, we said it earlier. All you want in these is a home draw against a lower league team. I'm not getting another one now for the next round. So you look at that. You look at the squad we have again. Something we said at the start of the show. We've never had a better squad. So you don't need to rush Mo Salah back in. He will do, but you don't need to rush a Trent back in, a Robbo back in. We could use it and attack these 3 competitions. The Europa League, I'm not too familiar with the way that thing operates, because is there another round of crap in that before we even get back involved? I don't know when.
Yeah, there's a round now in mid-February, and then we come back into it mid-March, I think.
Yeah,
Early
so
March.
look, I suppose a lot will depend on will depend on that. But I think Liverpool, and whether you believe in momentum or not, some people don't, but I think Liverpool are building up ahead of steam. And I think, the news about Klopp will reinforce that they're going. I think they're going to go like animals at everything. I don't think they're going to let up or let the foot off the gas. I don't think Klopp will let them. I think the reins are going to be off. Whereas I just think they're just going to go absolutely gangbusters at it. And again, not relying on 14 or 15 players. We've got players there that, Harvey Elliott doesn't get a sniff, doesn't get a mention, who's been involved in first teams, has been excellent when coming on in games all season. Thiago, who could come back at some stage, who knows, God knows. We might see a little Indian summer for Thiago at the end of the season. And how big would that be? Do you know what I mean? How big? I know he's clocked, and we haven't really got the probably what we wanted out of Thiago, unfortunately. But tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing him coming in a run in and being in games, certainly in Europa League games or Premier League games, when you need somebody with the intelligence to get on the ball, to slow it down or to speed it up. Not many better or more football than Thiago. So we've got these lads to come in. I think we're placed to have a real good runner for it. I'd be going at everything. I'd be going at the blade now. But if it comes down to it, I'd be prioritising the league, obviously.
Over them all, yeah.
That's where you have to. I wouldn't be, if it came down to it, an FA Cup quarter final and you have a big league game and there's a Europa League game, I think McConnell
I don't see where the massive drop off is.
Yeah, see, that's the beauty of it.
I think there's 20 players. I think there's 20 players arguably there now that could make an argument for at least being in every matchday squad. I'm probably looking on, I should probably be playing here. You know what I mean? And that is so fucking healthy. And before we go on, actually, sorry, because I forgot halfway through, our fundraiser for fan supporters, field banks, and the Lighthouse is ongoing. I know you've all been paid now, and so I can hammer you for it. Because Christmas is gone and the paycheck for the month come in January. I know it has. 25th is the last date usually. So I've been watching. But the link is in the description if you want to donate. Every $5 or every $10 absolutely helps. We're trying to get to €10,000, which will mean 5,000 for each of those organisations, which will be massive. Absolutely massive for them. We're going to personally deliver the checks to them, both in Dublin and in Liverpool. So to give those organisations €5,000 during the summer. And remember, it's very important during the summer, because that's where you get the least amount of volunteers and the least amount of, people donating and stuff like that, because people are on holidays and with the fan support and field banks, there's no football on during the summer. So we're trying to do that and get it done by the summer. So if you can donate, absolutely do so. The football prize this week, the link is in the description, is Cody Gakpo signed and custom framed jersey, along with a load of other prizes that they're giving away during that draw. I think you have until next Wednesday to do that, the 31st. They've a load of them sold already, but the link is there if you want a bit of Cody Gakpo gear. That's absolutely there as well. And if you want to become a member of the channel, €4 a month, hit the join button. We're having great crack and all these things. A new one launched last week called The Greatest, and it was a brilliant show where we're discussing the greatest sports people of all time. So, Seany, where are you on this? Because I've said it there, I don't see the drop off. There is a drop off, don't get me wrong, from the absolute nailed on whatever you think is the starting 11. But with what's gone on over the last 3 or 4 days now, I just think I can see this manager, staff and squad just going, we're leaving everything out there now. We're leaving everything out there, nothing to worry about. The world ends in 4 months, so let's have a go at
it. Yeah, I do think that. I think maintaining momentum is going to be the big thing, because it can become fuel in one stage, but if it starts to go wrong, it literally flips on the other side, and then it's a kind of a draw to the finish. But I don't think it's gonna be like that. I feel like, being deadly serious, I think if Liverpool win the next 2 games, good luck stopping them. I genuinely, I feel like if we win the next 2 games, then we're gonna be in the territory of winning 8-9 games in a row in the league. Not to say we won't drop points, but I do think it wouldn't be completely beyond the point. And if we manage to get to the game against City in Anfield with any sort of lead and we beat them, forget it. Because I think narratives can run. I think narratives will run. We're seeing different ones now at the moment, but I think with a head of steam, it's not beyond us. Don't forget, like, we were fucking 2 bounces of a ball away from it going away a couple of years ago. And I mean, a real quad. Not that this wouldn't be a real quad, but like the quad that's never been done before quad. We were literally a couple of bounces of ball away. It was 2 games of football, literally. We went into the last day of the season thinking we could win the Champions League, FA Cup and the League. Into the last 20 minutes of the Premier League season thinking we could win the Premier League, Champions League and the FA Cup. So it's definitely possible. Again, you're going to need the usual, the luck with injuries, the luck with decisions. But I feel like the other thing for us is that we actually have some players coming back who might be vital in run-ins, like Thiago, and so it's fucking, it's definitely there to be. And if this doesn't teach you anything, the news during the week is to just enjoy game by game before you get fucking earth-shattering news that we got. Is that this should be it anyway? Like, people always going on about, like, for me, and I said this already, give me the fucking journey over the destination 10 times out of 10, because this is the destination now. The destination is we have a definitive date of when Jurgen Klopp is going to be gone. And it's either going to be after a Premier League game at Wolves, a Europa League final in Dublin, or an FA Cup final in Wembley. We have a definitive date. In May 2024, he's out the gap. All right? And you spent years worrying about where we were going in the meantime when you should have been focusing on the journey and enjoying the journey. And that's what it's all about now. Is for the next fucking 3 or 4 months round in behind this fella, because he's earned the right to make the decision he's made. And every single one of the fans that have tickets between now and the end of the season, and every single player in that squad, our fucking debt and a gratitude to that man, that he goes out in May on top of a bus wielding loads of trophies with the love of the world and knowing exactly how much he's... And that should be the outlook. That should be the outlook. I don't think there should be any room for fucking negative thoughts in people's head to thinking that it can happen, but it shouldn't happen. Because,
but is there enough maneuverability in this squad to manage those?
Totally,
I think there is.
Totally. And the thing is, Gav, it's not no disrespect to the Europa League. The Europa League could get sticky, but you're not going to a fucking... There's no potential of going to a Bernabeu for a 2-legged. You might have to play Leverkusen. You might have to... There might be a few other sticky games in there, but we should be favourite nearly in every game we get in the Europa League. That's what we looked at. And again, like Klopp's alluded to it before, the Europa League final in Dublin would be like a home game. He said it himself. He said it'd be like a home game. So, look, there shouldn't be... Like, we shouldn't need pep talk for this to players. Let's be fucking honest. And to be honest with you, who knows how some of the players are feeling in the squad? Might be some of their might be their last roll of the dice as well. I do get the feeling, something tells me that a few of the senior lads have known for quite some time that Jurgen won't be around, and I think
he never put a time on it, because he told them in private and stuff like that. And then when Virgil was interviewed, he kind of didn't put a time on it, because Virgil, it would have been very easy for Virgil to go, we got told yesterday morning in a meeting and stuff like that. And I think they did get told that morning in a meeting, but I believe you're right. I think a couple of the senior ones probably knew before.
It's just a hunch. Honestly, there's fucking no way anyone could know.
Well, proper order would probably mean that they did, because they probably were told and saying, listen, you are going to be the lads now that are going to have to probably answer a few questions from the younger lads or less experienced lads. So you kind of put a little thing in place so there's somewhere for the players to go to.
As a fan, you die for the man, and as a player, I'd imagine that I would fucking feel the same way. And genuinely, I do. I think if we get 6 points in the next 2 league games, I can honestly
run away train, John.
Yeah, I'm not joking you, because it's just City will be thinking that's a tricky week for them, and then going away to Arsenal, and then you're forcing them to be perfect again. And although De Bruyne is back and all, I don't think they will be perfect because the systematic issues at City I'm seeing this year. I watched them against Spurs the other night. Weren't great. Lucky in the end. They'll have to come to Anfield and win. And imagine, right? Imagine what Anfield will be like.
Yeah, if we go in there 5-6 clear them,
Yeah.
it'll be beyond fucking madness.
Yeah.
Emmet, I've talked there to Sean about the manoeuvrability within the squad, because usually what happens is when you go for these sort of competitions, and in hindsight, when you look back on 21-22 for Liverpool, they were probably running on fumes a little bit towards the end of that season when it came to the Champions League. And I think they were a better team in the Champions League final. And I think if Steven Gerrard and his fucking mates had their head screwed on, we would have won the title, right? But when you look at this, Emmet, this feels to me like sometimes it can be an excuse. You know, we only have so many players and we're playing so many games, but I think the mixture of a lack of excuse here and what we know is coming in May is just the perfect fucking fuel to go, right, fuck it, all in. Everyone's going for fucking everything. We're not laying off on nothing. And I can bring any of these 20 in here and we can get a job done.
100%, and we were running on fumes, and I think players were overplayed, and the fact that we're in these still in the 4 competitions, I think it's not a hindrance to us. It's actually only going to benefit us because you've a lot of players to please, and a lot of players will want to play in big games. The more games you have, not going to say in terms of number, but the competitions. So this week you're going to play in the FA Cup, or you're going to play in the League Cup final. You won't play in the next league game. It's all going to be laid out in front of them. Like you said, there's 20. I'd probably argue maybe 23 lads that would all be pushing to get a position in the team at any one time. And I just think the longer we stay in them, the more kind of they're going to be hungry, but they're also going to be. There's not going to be. I'm not saying that there would be because it's the no dickheads rule, but you just don't want somebody saying like getting their nose out of joint that they're not playing. It's going to be plenty of football to be played. We change like you said, you're going to play until 60, then you're going to come on for half an hour. There's loads of football there to keep everybody happy. I think I texted into the WhatsApp earlier on, and I just said something special is happening, and I think that's what's going to happen. And I've not watched many videos on Klopp. If you come across them, you see them, whatever. I don't watch through them because, in my view, all these kind of compilations of him holding trophies and all like that, it's not even necessarily too early. I just think they may have gone too soon because there's going to be a lot more photographs with a lot more trophies come the end of the season that they're going to have to need to add to it. So
yeah, so you're still firmly on the bus.
I'm fully I'm always on the bus.
You've a fully topped up league card. I love it. Listen, we've done a couple of shows on the departure or the impending departure of Jurgen Klopp. Come whenever the last game for Liverpool this season is. Like Seany said, it could be Wembley, it could be Europa League, it could be the Premier League. We don't know what date that could be. So I think it's the 19th, the 22nd, or the 25th or 6th of May, right? But none of you have been on any of the shows since it happened. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to say, A, what you think of it, and B, who would you go for, and what would the reasons be? Now let's be perfectly clear on this. Nobody knows who Liverpool are going for. Nobody knows if they're going to go manager, coach, plus fucking sporting director or director of football. Nobody has a fucking brace. But what would yours be, Keith? Go on, let you go for it.
Yeah, look, I think we all sort of expect the sporting director to be announced soon. The Schmadtke thing was a stopgap. I think if Klopp stays on, I think Schmadtke stays on because they seem to work okay in the summer. Happy enough with how things were going. But I think they need to put a situation in place where, I'm not saying you don't want to have a Klopp again, but you don't want to be reliant on a Messiah again. And we love a Messiah. There's nobody loves a Messiah more than Liverpool.
Yeah.
We're big in the Messiah scene.
We're big in the Messiah scene.
Yeah, we're big on that circuit.
Huge name in the Messiah scene.
Yeah, we do love that. And I get sucked in all the time, you know what I mean? But I think they'll look to get a director of football or sporting director in, and I think Seany said it earlier, they're looking at the Bournemouth lad, might have been in the WhatsApp, looking at the lad at Bournemouth, and it could be that. Seany has also said, and Andrew Den saying that there, Ralph Rangnick could be a great show for a
I
sporting
agree with
director.
it
I
as
think
well.
he'd be brilliant. But I think they're going to make the right decision. I'm confident that they're going to do the right thing. Now, the names that are getting bandied about, look, I want Xabi Alonso. I think he's the best young coach in Europe, not just based on Leverkusen. He'd done great work when he went into Sociedad. He's one of the most intelligent footballers we've seen. Like Xabi Alonso, we've seen him for years at Liverpool. Run games, dictate games. He left us and he went to bigger things. You know what I mean? It's not like we're judging this on a stint at Liverpool. I think he's amazing. I think he could really, really be the man. But I think Ruben Amorim and Roberto De Zerbi are big candidates as well. And I think either of them would also be good shouts. De Zerbi, I sort of wasn't into him at all. And I'm starting to turn because I
I've gone
think
the other way.
De Zerbi thinks so much out of the box. He reminds me of Bielsa, and I love Bielsa. And I just think he does these things. I think the way Liverpool are set up now, you can't go like joking about Mourinho. We couldn't get Mourinho now. We're not built to have some leading Shyhawk or an Eddie Howe or one of these cabbages coming in. We're not built. We have to get a coach in that will work with the squad that we already have there, or else what's the point of it? So I think you get someone like a De Zerbi or an Amorim, but it'd be Xabi Alonso for me. But they're coaches that like to play progressive football, intense football, and that's what we're built on. So yeah, look, whoever it is, I think it'll be Alonso. I hope it's Alonso, but I wouldn't be heartbroken if it was De Zerbi or Amorim, because people go like, "Oh, Amorim's the hipster choice."
I don't know. I don't know
team.
who that man is you're talking about.
There's a good
Amorim.
team, Sporting Lisbon. Like they've
Okay,
been a good
Sporting
team for a
manager.
few
I
years.
haven't got a clue who he is. I watched a bit of Leverkusen last night, and like it's genuinely the first time I've ever watched them, and I thought they were a bit Arsenal under Wenger, to be honest with you. Loads of triangles. Just loads of triangles down the sides of the box trying to get in behind teams, and Mönchengladbach or whoever they were playing defended really, really well, but you could see the intensity, which I liked. My argument for Alonso and a Rangnick kind of thing, or someone along that lines, is I think Alonso coming in, I think he's probably the fella that has the freshest ideas and also will be most open to what the squad is there, rather than say somebody coming in going, yeah, that's a great squad you have, but I'm this big ego and I'm going to get rid of a fucking 4 or 5 of them and bring them in, a bit like Nunez did in the early 90s for Liverpool, right? That would be my argument for Xabi Alonso. I'm gone the other way on De Zerbi. I used to really like him, but I think over the last little while he just annoys me, and I think he's friends with Guardiola as well, so I think he might be a bit of a shy back.
That was Alonso.
No, but Alonso's not like great mates like De Zerbi is. So that would be my argument.
They're on the WhatsApp.
They're on the WhatsApp. I wonder how big they are in the Messiah world. Are they as big as us? I don't think so.
Egypt are out with the blades.
The nippy car, Paddy and Worth.
Yeah, nippy car Pagans. Egypt are out of the thing, so Salah will be playing Wednesday night, which would be great. Salah back
Whips are off like James Brown going off the stage. Back on.
Like Pele and escape to victory.
Yeah, you just tomorrow morning, Salah just popping out of the axe full gear, and I'm ready. But no, he won't, obviously. But that's where I would be. I think Xabi Alonso makes the most sense, and not because of who he is or who he's played for. I think because of his outlook and the stage he's at in his managerial career, to hand him a squad like that, I think is the least disruption. Believe it or not, I think it's the least disruption. That's where I am. Seany, where are you on it with Klopp? Where are you on it? Where would you go with it? And then I'll let Emma finish us off before we go.
Yeah, obviously had a few days to tune it. The more I think the timing is right. I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but the more I think about it, I think the timing is right. I just it's one of them things you had in your head that was going to be a little bit further down the line than it was, but he obviously feels like he hasn't got the goal, and Klopp's earned the right to make that decision for himself, in my opinion. When you listen to the interview and he says when he's saying the quality in the squad, he felt it was an apt position to probably pass it on to the next manager, and I do believe him when he says that. I probably think if Liverpool went complete shambles for the first half of last season, I think there's a chance Klopp probably would have turned around at this stage last season and said the same thing. I don't think he wanted to leave the club down a bone and wreck. I think I don't like any of the conspiracies around that coming out around. One thing I will say is I do feel that probably the anarchy and the structure with a lot of key bodies leaving does lend to Klopp probably taking on more than he needs to, and probably accelerates it by maybe say another season, and I think that's going to be the big challenge for FSG for me. Is they don't need to replicate Klopp. We're not going to get another Klopp.
No, you're not.
Well, I think we need to go away from the idea that there's going to be a Klopp. There's not going to be a Liverpool way. There's not going to be a Klopp way. There's not going to be gegenpressing. There's not going to be this. There's going to be a new manager or a new style of play. He might have similarities and characteristics of a Klopp football team, but they won't be a Klopp football team simply because he's a generational manager. And I don't think people shouldn't get married to the idea of that. I don't know. I'm aware of the unknown really excites me, Gav, for some reason. It does. The unknown, and
I'll be quite happy if I know it's not Thomas Tuchel.
yeah. No, well, it's not going to be Thomas Tuchel.
Grant, thanks, Seany. That's grand. That's all I need to know.
They're saying that the search is data driven, and I believe them. I think that's the way they should go. I read up about your man Hughes, the fella who's working at Bournemouth, who done really good work there in the summer with the signing he's made, and apparently is basically they're saying is Michael Edwards' protege, and I think we just need to go back to having structure, because I think there's what Klopp has done and Klopp's team have done in the last 10 years at Liverpool has provided this platform for us to kick on under the next sort of stewardship or whatever it is, the next custodian of the club, let's say. The revenues will be there. The new training ground is there. Anfield has never looked better. It's never been bigger. And I feel there's a really, really good bounds of a good young squad there. I'm all about Xabi Alonso. I think not that some players just get it. Alonso played for Liverpool, almost won everything at Liverpool. Look at his football and education. Look at the managers he's played under. Look at the way he played football. Look at the football he's playing now. It's all it just perfectly aligns for me with Xabi Alonso. Again, De Zerbi, Amorim, I get it.
I think if we're in shy, Seany, if we're in shy, I don't go for Alonso. You need a more experienced head.
I don't know. I don't see. But Gav, that's the thing is, I think what Liverpool fans have to do now, and it's again whether you're in shite or in nothing, you have to trust exactly what comes in. And if that means trusting Alonso with a rebuild, you fucking trust him with a rebuild.
Yeah, I said it the other day. Whoever comes in, we must show patience to this fella.
And again, look, we're living in a world where it's fashionable to be reactionary, but look, let's be honest. The minority, the voice in the minority has never been louder. But let's be honest, it doesn't speak for the whole of the fan base. Alonso come in and he'll be adored. He seems like a good bloke. And again, based on foundations that Klopp have left, this is where the whole no dickheads thing will fucking massively benefit an incoming manager, because it's not like the thing that's driving me the fucking up the wall about this whole thing is people comparing Klopp to Fergie. He's nothing like him. No. Nothing like him at all. Didn't even manage like him. Not the same type of player. Not saying that Ferguson is the worst cunt in the world, but he's nothing like him. Klopp would protect players instead of fucking them under the bus. Klopp he always looked after the squad and the players that were there, and he trusted people today. There's no real disgruntled exes of Klopp coming out going, well, he was a fucking wanker. You hear Prince Boateng talking about him glowingly. Gave everyone a fair shake of the stick, and that'll benefit the next manager coming in, whoever it is. But I'd really like it to be Alonso. I don't know why I have it in my head. I'd become fucking married to the idea of Alonso, and I probably shouldn't have. But I'm genuinely the unknown really excites me. I do feel it's the correct time for Klopp. I'm looking at him in hindsight, and the man looks dishevelled and he looks jaded and he needs time out and he wants time out and he should be given time out and he shouldn't have to turn around and say, I hope you accept my decision and I just want him to.
Oh no, I need every Liverpool fan.
Let the man live. Let the man live. He took us to the. You are lucky enough if you are, and I know Emmet is, and I know Keith is, and I know you were. We all took her in our stride, and we enjoyed every second of it along the way. If you spent the last 2 or 3 years moaning, pissing, and whinging about stuff you couldn't change, I actually feel sorry for you because it's the biggest slap in the face for people like them now who are going, oh fuck, you know, like you don't know.
You're gonna have to cram an awful lot into 4 months.
And again, I said it in the WhatsApp today. I'll finish on this. Listen to the songs ringing around Anfield today. His song didn't get sung. You've 4 scouts at Tommy. You've songs about Dalglish. You've songs about Shankly. You've songs about ex-players. Liverpool was there before Klopp came. It'll be there when he goes. He's solely a custodian. He'll be forever remembered. People saying build him a statue. He's way down the queue at the moment in for statues for me. King Kenny hasn't got a statue yet. He has a stand. Gerrard deserves a statue. Klopp will get his flowers.
Diane Lovren.
Because he is one of the most influential men to ever to lay hands on this club. And we've been fucking so lucky to have him at this time in the game. And it's just shite that modern football doesn't suit Jurgen Klopp, I don't think. And I think that's another reason. 12:30 kickoffs, shite refs, small games coming next year. He's saying, fuck this. I'm going on my holidays. Leave me alone. And
do you think that wore them down? The 12:30 things, the referees, the fighting, the constantly fighting. I think the refs have had it in for him, and he's constantly having to battle against them. I think that's
I think the biggest.
He looks it. Seany's right. He looks it.
He does. And listen, I couldn't give a bollocks what his reasons are. If he's come out and said what his reasons are, you take it as his reasons and you go, listen, you can't turn around and go, we fucking stood by you and we were shite and now you're running off. Stop it. Do you know what I mean? He could have went at any time. He could have went to any club in the world any time during this tenure, and he's decided that he's thought about it. Certain real life situations have made him think about it, and he's given us his reasons. You accept it and you move on. Emma, I'll let you finish off. Where do you see this going? Because Alonso is just a name that keeps banging out there. There could be a curveball in there, but I think he's just the obvious choice.
Yeah, I'll just talk on Klopp for a second, then I'll get to the fact that Seany can't be married to Alonso because I am. So, with Klopp's announcement,
aren't you started learning Spanish and all, haven't you, Emma?
I have been, yeah.
Yeah, Seany's fluent in it.
No, yeah. Well, I'm using Duolingo. He's got his own personal Duolingo.
He's Basque.
Yeah,
same difference. Tomato, Seany.
It's like
we heard on. I was working away here the other day and got a WhatsApp from Keith into the group, and it just says Klopp's gone. And I thought he was doing that. Is a fella on Twitter, Ian Doyle, when he's gone for his press conference, and I actually reacted and I laughed at it, and then literally a split second later the article came in, and then your head is just spinning, and I went from something's after happening, he's not well, his missus isn't well, and whatever. And I was in disarray. I was nearly well enough, I told you that. Because he has brought us like our best times ever supporting Liverpool. And Seany's right. If you've pissed and moaned about him for the last... Actually, in fact, if you've ever uttered the words Klopp out or typed the words Klopp out in any other way other than being sarcastic, you're a fucking tick, right? Yeah. Because this is it now. He's gone in the summer. When I watched his video, the interview at 3:00, and he said certain things, I started kind of like Seany. I don't know whether I'll accept it, but it explained a few more things. Yeah. He's nowhere near like Fergie, right? Number one, Klopp is like the person that has his will all done and dusted. He's leaving a couple of gaffes to his daughters and his sons and all that kind of stuff, and a few bob. Fergie fucked off and basically didn't pay his household charges, all that kind of stuff. All of this had to be paid. He left a bag of shite for Manchester United. Klopp is walking away. Look, we've already said on this show, the best and deepest squad that we've had in a long, long time. He's also not going to be sitting in the stand, like laser in his eyes into the back of the new manager's head. He's literally walking away and riding off into the sunset. He is the best thing to happen to Liverpool in a long, long, long time. I hope he's just going to be, or the next manager is going to be to him what Paisley was to Shankly. Shankly built very, very similar, built up into, like he said, a bastion of invincibility. Klopp has done the same. I think announcing it early, I was like, oh God, why is he doing that? I think he's right to do it now. Looking back on it now, I think he was right doing it, because if he walks away and we've only won one trophy at the end of the season, it's because we were shit or because we didn't win this.
Smoking off.
He's done it now. We're in everything, and we're on track to go and win everything, right? Or we can go on and win everything. If it's a case that we go on and win everything and he walks away in a blaze of glory, brilliant. But also, we knew he was going if we don't win anything. So I think it allows us to kind of come to terms with it. I think the fact that he mentioned it in November,
it shuts down
in the
all the
club,
conspiracy theories.
100%. Yeah. So, well, it didn't for a couple of hours until I
Well, yeah, but that we'll get on to that in a minute.
So I think it's good. We'll get it out of the way. I don't think every game should be singing his name and all that. I get that he's asked that. But it's a celebration from now till the end of the season. Seany said something today. We're all going to be fucking devastated at the end of the season, regardless of whether we win 4 trophies or not. So that's why I'm fully on board with us winning 4 trophies. Because we don't, not winning the trophy is not going to be near as devastating as him going. I just hope it is in a position for Alonso, is my pick, to come in. He's played for the club. He knows the club. He knows the fans. He knows the city. I think it's a seamless transition. My initial pick would have been Linders, but then you heard that he's gone. So I would say Alonso to come in. And basically, I agree, director of football, I think, is probably long overdue, because Klopp probably got to this situation because he did take on too much. You don't want all of that work going back into the hands of somebody that I know they're going to appoint this person, but I think there should be somebody there. I like Ranić. I don't know the guy from Bournemouth, but if he's doing good work, we should maybe look at the likes of Brighton. They're people that are their director of football.
Chelsea.
How is he?
No, he went to Newcastle.
Oh, did he? All right. I just think I like the idea of Alonso coming in. I think he suits it. He does play gegenpress, and I listened to an interview of him the other day saying that. So it's not going to be too dissimilar, or the way he plays, I don't think will be too dissimilar to the way the players are. I think it's the least disruption. So for me, it's Alonso.
Okay, before we go, Seany, sausage of the week.
Jose Enrique. And Jose Enrique and anyone who rode in behind him like a fucking easy for 2 hours before he got made a tick out by, again, you owe more to Klopp than to fucking buy into them conspiracy theories. Yeah, actually, that's a disrespect to the man to feel that. He won his back on the man over the owners. He wouldn't. People saying, oh, they'll come out in NDAs. He literally came out and said it. Otherwise, he wouldn't.
Yeah, I think the thing with Jose Enrique was he was literally quoting what Klopp had said and then says, are he saying that? But this is what I think. And I'm like, why are you thinking that?
Why are you even asking him? Do you know what I mean? Why is
he is sausage of the week. Dylan O'Rourke wants Rashford as sausage of the week. Did he go out for a few gargles and then decide he didn't want to play this weekend?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That happens as all. Happens as all. Many players
Eric Ten Hag can be sausage of the week.
He went out the night before he had a day off. There's nothing wrong with that.
How many players have you knocked for on a Sunday morning? They put their head out the window and go, lads, fuck off, annoy me. I was out last night. And you just get all in the van and head the match.
Put it this way, Rashford had done that in the 90s and there'd been no camera phones around. That wouldn't have been a good set. So, there you go. His
manager today, did you see that slating Newport County after the game?
What?
They done nothing. He was like, they done nothing. And you're like, mate, they're playing near the relegation zone in League 2. He's fucking scraped by them. Keep your bleeding powder dry. He is an absolute dose.
I didn't watch any of that.
Klopp, be thankful we don't have him.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it, and I expected United to have the likes of their academy players out and everything, and it was like a full, strong 11.
With the keeper, because he's at AFCON. But they had the full choice. They played more the Henrys.
Yeah, it was a very, very strong side they had out,
Cameroon should have saved that airline fare for him. He got over there late. He played one game, conceded 3. And then
shot save.
Ran up to a fella and told him how to take a free kick, and your man just ballooned it into the stand. Some crackety. Anyway, that's about it for us. That's about it for us. Loads of shows coming this week. Of course, Liverpool again play on Wednesday, so we'll have stuff around Chelsea, reactions and stuff to that. We should have the member shows. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, 10 a.m. We will have some Premier League chat. I was going to say we might do a transfer show, but no fucking point. We will be back with the greatest. That's another member show. So if you're not a member, go and check it out. Do us a favour. Put it in for a month. It's £4 for the month. You get about 20 shows across the month. And if you like it, you'll stay with it. If you don't, you won't. But I think you will like it. And there's a great mix of stuff in there. We're trying to get Keith to do another version of another episode of The Helm as well.
Yeah.
Trying to get hold of someone else out there to do that as well. So loads and loads coming this week. So make sure you check out the links in the description, whether you're watching now or listening later, for the fundraiser. Literally, just if everyone watching here now gave a £5, right, we'd be fucking flying. If actually everyone watching now and that downloads goes in and gives a £5, we'd probably clear the 10 grand. That's being honest with you. We would clear the 10 grand. That's being honest. So if you can, please do. The link is there. And if you can't, share it. You know, like you say, there's loads of people out there that are really hard and struggling to make ends meet in Dublin and in Liverpool. And we're trying to split it between both. So if you can, please do that. Don't forget the football prizes thing there as well, if you want to put yourself in for some Gakpo gear and loads of other stuff as well. That's it. Emma, anything else before we go?
Is there any slots free on Wednesday night in the Pergola?
I don't know. I'll see.
What?
We're having a lovely time in the old cinema Pergola, and we watching the matches. Me and you. It's a lovely night to be had, and the weather's getting better. I'll see, Emma. I'll see what I can do. Keith, anything else before we go?
No. Look, it's been a bit of a mad few days, digesting it all. But as the dust settles down on it all, I agree with what Seany was saying. The time is right. I agree with what Emmet said. You know, to announce it now and let's see where we go. I'm excited now for the rest of the season. I was excited anyway. But as Seany said, the destination is the destination, but it's all about the journey. And now we've decided that we've got a 6-month or a 5-month journey here to go for Blade and everything, and I'm excited for that. I can't wait.
Good stuff. Seany, anything else before we go?
No, all good. A tough week in the Liverpool parish, but look, we'll get through it. Probably for as long as I've known all these lads, Klopp's looked after the team, so look, we'll go on again. I think we'll be okay. Actually, I'm nearly fucking sure of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right, that's been your Sunday night with the Talkin Kop. Thanks a million to Keith, Emma, Seany, everyone in the chat. Thanks a million for all your input tonight. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hold on a sec, actually, before you go.
All right.
Did you name the yoke out your back at the cinema Pongo?
No.
The great
we were watching
cinema
the match
Pongo.
one night, and somebody in one of the Telegram chats said, the Florence Cinema Pongo Pagola. Because it's really quite hard to say, and just Pagola, Pongo. No, you think I named a wooden structure out the fucking Florence Cinema Pongo?
It's something. Sounds like something you do.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I might get a plaque done up. Fuck it. Right, there's no show tomorrow morning. Going down the hardware. Talk to you in a bit. Over the hill.